and online. We are all here this afternoon on the 27th day of November 2022 is the year. So right now the time is 7 minutes after 4 o'clock. It's about time we join our host there, Alfonso Zionzo in the USA, to bring you the program, The Liberian World Today. As I said earlier on, our guest today is Madam that's Honorable Victoria Toro Kokwe, Senatorial Aspirant, MONSTERRADO County, of course, on the ticket of the CPP. Maybe you want to say ANC as well, but she's in the CPP, so that's it. So she's our guest this afternoon. She's in the studio already. So, Mr. So, if you are there, we drop from you. So, I think you're getting us loud and clear.
Include.
Yeah, I'm getting it. Thank you so much.
Mr. So, I'm
Yeah,
waiting. Okay, so
yes, I'm here.
the guest is here already. So, I want to help it.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
yeah,
Thank you
she's
so
there.
much, Julius. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. I am Alfonso Zensort of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR TV. Our guest is here. What a beautiful day here in the East Coast. It's 11:08 Eastern Standard Time. I'm Alfonso Zensort of the Liberia Public Radio. Let's get a program started. The guest is already there in studio. And just give me a minute. I'm going to be bringing you here. The race for the first branch of government is on the rise in the West African state of the Republic of Liberia. And so we're going to be having a conversation just how we hold the other branches of government and others available here. We're going to do that. Today, my special guest is one of the top insiders of the Opposition Alternative National Congress. Our understanding, she's contestant. This building you see behind me here, Madam Victoria KOIQUAH is contestant on the ANC ticket. I'm not sure it is the ANC collaboration, but we're going to dip all of that here this morning right here. It's 4 o'clock in the West African state of the Republic of Liberia. I'm Alfonso Zienso right here in the East Coast of the United States, New England Bureau. What a beautiful collaboration with Sky and Liberia Public Radio. Let's get a ball rolling right here. Time is already it's not in our favor. I'm going to be breaking a guest here. Folks, we want to welcome you. This is AZ and So. Okay, good morning, USA, good afternoon, Liberia. Let me bring in my guest already in studio at Sky Communication Network, and we're going to be having a conversation here this evening. Okay, there she is our special guest here, Madam Victoria KOIQUAH. If you were to call you, Vic, are you there? Can you unmute your microphone? Victoria, can you unmute your microphone? Okay. Oh, all right. There's a little challenge. Julius, if you want to unmute her microphone, let me make sure and get in touch. We are in the 21st century, and we're still having challenges with internet. Just bear with us. I soon that guest on. Okay, let me get this here. Let's see. I soon we get her back. We're gonna be bringing her. Just bear with us, folks. That's the beauty in Liberia, and that's some of the things that we encounter on a daily basis. And hopefully this work out, and we're gonna be bringing her. Okay, let me see. Yep, I believe she's here. Okay.
To start the program to get the ball rolling already. We have some. Okay, so Alfonso, I think you are on now.
Yeah, okay, good. Thank you so much, Julius. Good morning, Victoria. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good afternoon from my end.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Alfonso.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm still in the morning. You are in the afternoon. I'm quite sure you're done with your. Yeah, it's still morning hour. I'm sure you're done with your dinner and everything. Okay, good to have you here. Am I audible? Are you hearing me clear?
Yes, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you.
Okay, good. All right. Thank you so much. I just want to make sure. All right. Good afternoon from my end. Thank you for being here. All right. We are already behind time here. Quickly here. Let's get to the conversation. Just quickly introduce yourself and we will get right down to the program.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And let me know from my end, and good morning to evening to others from their end. I'm Victoria TORLO KOIQUAH. I'm the Deputy Vice Chair for Political and International Affairs at the ANC. I of the CPP. I am a senatorial, and we look forward to this discussion, but most importantly, we look forward to the support of the people of MONSTERRADO, and we believe that we are going to be in this race for a win, and we look forward to victory comes 2023.
Okay, well, thank you so much for honoring our invitation and for being here. We'll say a big thank you to our sister network, Sky Communications in Liberia, for making it possible in such a collaboration to give Liberian a sense of what is happening in our country. 2023 is huge. It's at stake, so we're going to be here. Okay, thank you so much. If you were to call you Vic, to make it much easier for me, please accept that. But trust me, when you are the honorable a factor in later on. Okay, let's start a conversation here as is already late. This is the bidding you are targeting towards, correct?
You can say Vic.
Okay, all right, good. Okay, you know the honorable name. If you don't call it like bro, something I don't want to be held in contempt.
Yeah.
Okay, quickly here. This is the bidding you are taking a shot at. All right. Are you hearing me?
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. I'm not seeing the building you are talking about, but I'm hearing you.
Okay, well, let me call the name of the building. I try to visualize it. It's the Capitol building, the first branch of government. Is that where you want to go, Vague, if you will? Are you there?
Yes.
Yeah, hopefully,
I'm
just
here. I said
yeah.
yes, and yeah.
Okay, so let's have a conversation here. How you got to this point here? I'm not sure whether you are a traditional politician, but how you got to this point of wanting to go Capitol Hill to do what?
He said to do what? So, Alfonso, why are you now asking the people what are they doing there? But instead, what to do what?
Well, I'm
Okay,
privileged to
but
have you.
let's keep the ball.
You're the one that I'm having now. You
Yes,
want
so
to go
let's
there.
keep the ball.
Okay, yeah,
Yes.
go ahead.
So, Alfonso, if you look at our country, we believe that the national legislature is the first branch of government that should ensure the development of our country, should ensure that our people are living in an improved environment. But we see that this is not happening. And with the experience we bring on the table, the more than 20 years experience we have had working in the international sector, and but locally, I mean international, but locally, we see that the political will is not there to develop our country. And if that is the case, we thought to throw our hats into politics so that improve our country through our own contribution, and this could lead to improving the lives of our people. So it's one of the reasons. And another reason is that, I grew up in Australia time, and when I was growing up, I saw that we had running water in our zinc round house. But today, even the concrete houses, those story buildings, skyscrapers, even the legislature I want to go to, you don't have water in the bathrooms and everywhere. So why are these things happening when in the 70s, the 80s, we had these things? But why is it? Is it because of the kind of people? Is it because that they do not have interest in the living condition of our people? So this has drawn me to say that, look, we all need to contribute to our governance system to ensure that the system works for every single Liberian, and to serve in the legislature. We can put our experience on the table. We can argue, we can lobby with our colleagues to ensure that budget allocation are made appropriately in the interest of the Liberian people. So these are just two main reasons why I went into this race. And like you said, yes, it's true. I'm not a traditional politician, but hey, politics is everywhere. Politics is in the workplace, politics is in the churches, in the mosques, and everywhere politics is there. But I'm not the traditional politician that come and lie to the people just because they want a position, or they want to insult, create lies about one. So we are going into this thing with sincerity, and we pray that our heart that is leading us there when we are there, what we are today.
All right, we are going there with sincerity. Honest, for me, I've heard this over and over from politicians. When you are in this race, Nanta, we will consider you as a politician. And the sincerity aspect of politician, that's not something I really take lightly, because politicians are just minimum of that. Okay, so you are seeking for this job here. Let me get a sense here. At what point in time that you really came to a point that I want to contest here? Have you done, or you said no current in the building? Are you going to take the electricity there? Are you going to take the running water system there? I just want to get a sense of cutting the reason why Victoria wants to unseat current Senator Sir Joseph. Is he not doing the work of the people in MONSTERRADO County?
Thank you. Say that I remember way back in the sixth grade, I made a vow, but I mean, maybe not a vow, a politician. But then the walking disrupted education, and we had to struggle back to come back into life. When I was in the sixth grade, I was the class president or the school president, because the school was stopping at the sixth grade. And I used to tell people that I want to be like Madame Selif. But I had completely forgotten what I said way back to myself. It was just in recent time, one of my old childhood friend reminded me. And when I say in recent time, it's like I think 5 or 6 months ago. This person reminded me that, look, we are not surprised. You remember you said this, and I started to think. I said, oh yes, I said it, but I completely. So that was they're saying that you should always say good about yourself, and God make it pass. So that is what is coming back to me, because that I saw Madame Selif stand for and other things. So I just grew that likeness for her. And one day I will be like Madame Selif. Because I didn't know that she was going to be president of the republic, but I just wanted to be that voice that would be heard, like what
The
Madame
question
Selif
becomes: are
was
you prepared?
doing.
The question
Then
becomes: are you prepared, Madam Vague?
I am more than prepared, and I was just coming to the portion new on the table that Sir Joseph is not doing. Look, the legislature has three cardinal functions of every legislator. So you have lawmaking, you have adequate representation of your people, and you have oversight responsibility. And we have charged Senator Sir Joseph for not adequately representing us. And what do I mean? We see that the senator now is even richer than our county. We see that the job we have given him, he's not doing it. For example, we don't see how well budget allocated to the counties, especially the county he's representing. We don't see that. We don't see him advocating for the people. Like, take for example, just in recent time, I was doing community engagement, and there is a road that is cut around this community, and a community vice chair operation told me that they wrote the Ministry of Public Works, and the Ministry of Public Works said, we get money in the budget for making, and these are the things your lawmakers should be seeing. Should see that yes, this road is not good. The next elections, we are the next budget year we are coming to. We need to advocate to see how we allocate money for the repair of the roads. But this is just another one. Even though roads are very important in our society, because if you have good roads, you have good markets coming from the interior, and you have local commodities being cheap. But that is not happening. But let's look at the health sector. You look at the health sector, and sometimes this is, I tell my supporters and I tell the entire Liberia that Sir Joseph is not representing us, because if I look at his role he played during the Ebola, where people are calling him Ebola hero, and let's agree that he was working for the interest of the people. But he worked with the Ministry of Health. He worked with MPhil. Some of the changes the health system is facing or was facing since Ebola. What has he done? He has now put for a bill to ensure that the health system is improved. If even you are not offering a bill, but what about the act that created the Ministry of Health? Are you reading it? True budget allocation is adequately supported through your advocacy, through your monitoring and evaluation, through your oversight role. Are you ensuring that? The answer is no. So for this reason, you see most of our hospitals around, you go there, you don't find even paracetamol. You go there, they check you. Sometimes you go, people are reluctant to check you because they are not paid on time, and they don't have adequate materials in the hospitals. But this senator is sitting, and he's the senator, especially for Monsterrado.
Okay,
Half of
let
the
me hold you
country.
there.
Monsterrado is half of the country.
Okay, let me hold you there a little bit, Vic. Here, the senator is sitting. The senator is not offering the bill. The biggerness and bigotry in this billing that you want to go. Sooner or later, people get in that bidding and they get to be initiated. You talk about oversight. Oversight, there are committees. I'm not sure. I've never seen it. Maybe you can get me to the point. The level of working relationship in this building is all about party, not even the affairs of the country. So if you go there, if you are elected, are you going to represent ANC or are you going to represent your constituent? Sir Joseph, yes, he's a senator, but we also have Minister of Health, we also have Executive of Government, and we have committees, both in lower and upper houses of government, that have oversight that when these functions or these ministries or agencies are not working, to bring them in to explain why it is happening. So let me ask you this question here. What will be the argument to the people of Monsterrado County that you're going to set yourself apart from that of what the incumbent is doing right now, for which they should trust you? Because we don't know, if you go there, you might end up doing the same thing.
Okay, thank you, Alfonso. I'm really happy for this question. First of all, I tell all of my supporters that I do not have the money, and it is not the responsibility of the lawmaker to build roads, hospitals, schools, but it is the responsibility of the lawmaker to ensure that his or her people are living in an improved environment. So if this is your role as a lawmaker, meaning you have to work hard, and how your voice, and this is what we are actually bringing on the table. This is an experience we are bringing to the table. This is a question we are bringing on the table, that when the national budget is placed before us as a Senate, we debate every line item to ensure that these allocations are appropriate at the appropriate time. We cannot have monies allocated to budget line and we will have the health sectors not being fully supported, the educational sector not supported, the agricultural sector not being supported. And the reason I usually say Sir Joseph is not doing his work because, first of all, Sir Joseph is the chief executive. So he proximity to the president. And his role in the legislature, he should have the in his country. He should have been the best senators in his country, but nothing of the kind. Let's come back to what I intend to do. What I intend to do, if you look at our profile, our what we intend to do, one thing we intend to do, be a money evaluation section of the legislature, because you cannot say you are having oversight over the government, including the legislature you are sitting in, and you do not have a system to monitor how government spend their monies that are all allocated. You do not have a system. So we're going to advocate, we're going to lobby to ensure that there is a department in the legislature called monitoring and evaluation, and that department will
That's
report to
increasing the
plenary
size of
so that we
Vic.
see.
What I'm hearing from you, you now also trying to increase the size of government. Those of us who are not a favor of increasing the size of government,
I'm not
because
getting you.
government should not be the highest
I'm
employer.
not
The
getting. I
private
didn't get
sector
you.
is
You
where.
slipped.
So what I'm hearing from you, I preferring to I put a committee or another arm that increasing the size of government.
If- So if you had just waited for, look, sometimes I check in the offices of the lawmakers. You see, sometimes you go there, you see people sitting down. They're not doing nothing. They're just sitting down. So why can you create a department that will have people working? It is not necessarily that you will be increasing. Maybe you have the expertise already in the legislature, some of the staffers that are working, but because they are not given the job to do, so they sometimes they go to work, they just stay around, but they have the expertise. You have people in our legislature. I have friends who work in the legislature. They have expertise in monitoring and evaluation. So why can't we use these people but create a department that will report to the plenary about this? And let me tell you this: we will not be advocating for increase in staffing in the legislature. What we will be advocating for and what we will want to see, we will want to see more private sectors open so that the burden on government, so that salary lines with private sector is open. You find people who will not work in government because the money will be small for them. Instead, the private sector will be preferable. These are some of the things we want to look at. But the first thing we want to do, Alfonso, we want to look at the acts that created these land ministries and agency. Once we have hold of the acts that created each land ministry and agency, we will be able to say, hey, we need to improve the act, because with this act, this agency or ministry will not be able to move on like what we want to see. Or the art is good, everything in it, the contents are there, everything in it. How do we support this land ministry? Do we need to support them through budgetary allotment? We have to find the money to support this land ministry to do the work. You can have an agriculture ministry and then you don't even have one government farm. Even one, you don't have any ministry. So these are places that we need to focus on. But we need to look at the art that created them all. Let's see what is in our art. Is it in the Liberian people? If it is in the interest of the Liberian people, what are the challenges? Then what are they not doing the work?
So the question becomes here, Veg, are you
About
holding
standing in the legislature.
yeah. So the
Yeah,
question
go
becomes,
ahead.
yeah, so the question
Fanso.
becomes here, are you holding Senator Sir Joseph, you keeping Senator responsible for these things not being implemented? Is that a case? Is Sir Joseph responsible for all of the failures of
Sir
this system?
Joseph, he's not representing us. Honorable Sir Joseph letter to adequately have oversight over the government, including the legislature that he sits in. He's not doing it. So Sir Joseph was elected to make good laws for MONSTERRADO that will affect the entire country. He's not doing it. And we are saying we want to come there to change that. This is what we are telling we are telling the people of MONSTERRADO. We want to come there to change that. We want to make good laws. And Alfonso, don't get me wrong. We are not just going to come there and start performing bills. The last time I was doing some research on the legislature, I saw some bills. The titles are attractive. Some of it it has been passed. It's at the president's level. Some of it it went to committee room. It didn't come out. Some of it that were performed even by some lawmakers that are gone. It stay in committee room. So we want to get hold of some of those bills and see how it helps improve the lives of the Liberian people. If we have to just improve it, we want to understand why these bills are still being kept. Like, for example, we want to put for an empowerment bill. But then I saw that somebody had put for an economic empowerment bill that is still in, I think, committee room or something. So we want to look at this bill. Why is it still in committee room? Is it that what the legislature wants to see in it is not in it, or is it that we have forgotten it? We want to look at that. So we're not just going to go there and just start those all and doing this. We're going to look at what is on the ground. So to make empowerment bill, some of the enabler.
Okay, let's condense this conversation here. Let's narrow it down here because I think your play is full and which is good. The eagerness, if elected senator for MONSTERRADO County, lot you want to do. But let's condense it a little bit here. What is Victoria if elected? What are you taking in there? Not what is dead already, even though it can be fixed. But what are you taking to change the minds of folks in MONSTERRADO County to say, this is going to be a new ball game. There's going to be a new sense of directions if Victoria is elected as senator of MONSTERRADO County. Let's stabilize it to 3 major points that which you feel are not happening, and that upon getting there, you will change that. But also bear in mind, also bear in mind, there are 2 senators. There are 2 senators. You have one, Darius Dillon from the opposition, Sir Joseph from the ruling establishment. These people, they don't work together. I never saw them one day having even dinner or hang out in order for them to have a commonalities to make sure that MONSTERRADO works. So how are you going to navigate through that? The system is a polarized system.
Yeah, I think the internet is a little bit today is because I don't know whether you are hearing me.
I'm hearing you. The internet is coming from your end. I'm hearing you. I think the system, the water is somehow here. Okay. Yeah, but I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
Okay. So, Alfonso, I am a friendly person. One thing we take into the legislature: friendship, relationship, good relationship. Sometimes people ask me, you just one person, so what will you be doing there? The other people, just in case they don't agree, we're not going to be the lawmaker that will be shouting too much in the legislature. We're going to build a relationship amongst us. lawmakers, both houses. We're going to build the relationship even in the judiciary, in the executive, because this is about Liberia. This is not about the political party that I am going to run on. I'll be on a party mandate. I will only be on a party mandate when it is in the interest of the Liberian people. And this is why I support Mr. Cummings. So, what will be in the interest of the Liberian people, we will lobby with our colleagues. We will explain to them. We will not make palaver with them. We will explain to them the rationale, argument, and the benefit, the outcome of what we are offering. So we'll be that person who will lobby with every lawmaker to ensure laws are passed that will be in the interest of the Liberian people. Another thing we carry, and this is something that everybody was, oh, everybody can say the same thing. Yeah, but everybody do. We carry integrity. We're taking integrity to the legislature, and people will say, other people say they carry integrity. We need to hear this. We need to hear that. We need to hear that. But I am Victoria, and they are they, and you can see within my campaign or my engagements, because campaign is not yet open, my engagements across the county and even across the country, I do not promise anybody. I do not promise anybody. I tell you plain blank that I am not responsible to build roads. I am not responsible to build schools, hospitals. If God help me and something lay on my hand, I have been doing it. I have always been an humanitarian. But that should not look like, yeah, this is the job of a legislature that I am doing. No, that's not the case. The case is do your work, separate your humanitarian role from the job the people elected you for. So I tell all of the people around and across the country, when you ask me for something, if I have it near my pocket, because I am an individual citizen, private citizen, I'm not working in government to put my hand in government cover to build roads or to build hospitals or to get loan. If I have it, I will give it to you. But if I don't have it, I will not give it to you. And I am not going that when I am lawmaker, I will give you loan or I will build hospitals, because that is not the role of a lawmaker. So from all of these things, you can know that somebody who is talking about integrity is saying it from the bottom of the heart. So you can look at the different politicians, because you say you're putting me in a category of a typical politician, because running for office, you should be a politician to run for office. So I'm not the traditional politician, and you look at the way I'm carrying on my campaign, my door-to-door campaign, talking to people. And what amazed me a lot is that when I talk to people, people clap for me and say, yes, we think that we should follow you because you are not coming to us to make BB promises that the other people. Alfonso, I do not want to be in my car and my supporters see me and call me.
So, oh, just a little interruption there. This is the Liberian War today. We are talking to Madam Victoria KOIQUAH, is a senatorial aspirant for the Alternative National Congress, ANC. Yeah, let me get her off the screen here. Let's see it. We have a little bit challenge here. That's what I said it is. Hopefully the internet system is okay. And we're going to be bringing her back here. A lot is unfolding. All of them must be held accountable. Yeah, some little contradiction here. Let me see here. Hopefully she's okay. Let me just bring her back. Vic, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Sorry, hope I was talking. You were not hearing. You were hearing.
Yeah, the internet. Yeah, that's why. That's the place there. The lawmakers. I mean, they are the fresh brain. These are some of the things that we are talking. But quickly here, though, you seems to be holding. You say you're not going there to build roads. And I agree with you. That's not a responsibility of lawmakers. In my state here, my state representative, the senator, that's not his job. He's there to lobby it. And that's where you lobby with the executive in order to have all of these things here achieved. Let me ask you this question here. If elected senator of MONSTERRADO County, you are a close right-hand person to Alexander Cummings. If Cummings is elected and you are elected for discussion purposes, which committee will you like to serve if you go in this building? Where do you want to find yourself?
I want to see myself on a executive on a sorry education.
Education. Why education?
Yes.
You alluded here, the president side, you said with the executive, at the end of the day, the executive will be the one to pen down decisions or whatever thing coming, why you want to go to education. Why not the executive, so that you'll be within the proximity of the guy that you support?
No, first of all, the education ministry is under the executive. I can be in. You just asked me. I could be in so many committees. Maybe you want to say which committee you want to chair. Yeah. So I
So
think
now you let the
education,
cat out,
because I feel
you let
that.
the cat out of the bag. Which committee you want to chair?
Okay, let me go to the executive.
That's number
That
one.
is for sure.
You want to chair the executive?
Come again?
You say you want to chair the executive?
Yes. Yes.
What could be the reason? You want to be
Good.
influential?
You know, I just told you that. No, it is not about wanting to be an influential person. It is because the reason I say it is because of my bonus, and I believe having somebody chairing the committee executive, you need somebody bold, somebody who will look in the face of the president and say, look, you are not doing the right thing. You need to do it this way. But if you have somebody there just because we are friends and you just want to slip, and then on the contrary, you stay in the legislature to even begin to plead for the executives, for ministers, to defend them instead of defending the cause of the Liberian people. I don't think we need somebody who will have that kind of heart. And this question you are asking me, one time, Mr. Cummings looked at me with few issues that we had discussed. And one time he looked at me, he patted me on the back. He said, "Look, Vic, when I'm elected president and you are a senator," he said, "I will not be surprised that you will prefer a communication to invite the president to respond to questions if I do the wrong thing." And I laughed. I said, "Why are you saying so?" He said, "I like your energy." He said, "You are a red politician. You fight regardless of my status, my position as your political leader. You tell me the truth. So if I see somebody like that in the legislature, this is somebody who will help me develop our country, because I believe that you will be telling me the truth. You will not just be there to for me just because I'm the president." So that is the main reason that I think, because I will not be looking at friendship. That should be the main reason that I should chair this. It is not because I want to be influential person in a senate. No, that is because of that. It is because I want the lives of our people improve. And for you to see a woman leaving her job, children, and jump into politics, help Mr. Cummings to win this election. I also want to be elected to help Mr. Cummings improve our country. this is something that you should take seriously, and I'm not going to take this lightly. When we are elected, we're going to ensure that the right thing is done in our country.
The right thing is done. Tell me a possible scenario if you are elected senator of MONSTERRADO County and Alexander Benedict Cummins becomes the next president of the Republic of Liberia. What possible scenario will you disagree with him on? Because, I mean, like I say, I'm sorry to say, not to put you on the spot, because this has been the soundbite of the politician. They will stand up for the people, I'm going there for the people, and they don't. At the end of the day, they are there for themselves. We are seeing it over and over and over. Soccer turned politician, business tycoon turned politician, career woman turned politicians, which is okay. But like in the West here, and I had to make this sort of comparison to Vic, because at some point in time here, people, Democrats, Republicans, they disagree with their party for the good of the country. John McCain left his sick bed and gave a thumbs down because he did not believe what his party were doing. He felt he was representing his people. Liberian politicians, they entertain. They just create political theater. That's all we're saying. They don't sit. It's all about party. CDC for CDC, ANC for ANC, Unity Party for Unity Party. Where will we see this collaboration for the good of the country, that even the executive branch will be held accountable? Can you look in the eyes of Alexander Cummins if he's doing it wrong, you as a city senator, if elected, to disagree with him?
So Alfonso, I am the deputy vice chair for international affairs, meaning we have a standard bearer, or before the political leader, then you come to the chairman, then you come to the vice chairs, before you come to the deputy vice chairs. And I have been able to look in Mr. Cummins' face and say, Mr. Cummins, this is not the route we should be going. Let's do it this way. I'm not saying he has listened to me 100%, but I have made significant contribution in some of the decisions that ANC has taken. And I believe sitting as the senator who has the authority of oversight over the executive branch, and the executive branch is headed by the president. Alfonso, this is something that I told you I don't promise, but this is something that I am promising the Liberian people, that I will call Mr. Cummins, President Cummins, to book when he goes wrong. But it is hard for me to give you a scenario of a case where if he goes wrong, I would say it in his face, because he's passionate about changing our country. And this is why I am supporting him. In 2017, I was a member of the ANC, but I suspended my membership. I supported KOIQUAH in 2017 because Mr. Cummins has just come, and all of us were there. We're talking, say, he has just come, and he will not make it, so we shouldn't waste our votes and blah blah blah, which was the wrong thing. And this is why this time around I put myself into it. I dive into this whole political thing to ensure that our country is liberated from the hands of we are. Come again?
I said, how sure are we you did it with Joseph Boyka and it was wrong? How sure are we? Because as he has stayed over years now, so you are making a correct decision now. Is that the case? So we should hold you off your word, or will you come back tomorrow? No. Because I'm coming. I'm going to let you know, because sedition.
So let me say
it. Yeah, 1 second, Vic, you're going to come in, because I've heard this over and over. Seditions, Unity Party, Liberty Party, and all of these people running from party to party, they do not solve the problems in the party. They cause chaos in one party and jump into another party, and then they come back to us and tell us, knowing what I know now. So let me ask you this question. Knowing what you know now, will you come back tomorrow? If Cummins does the wrong thing, will you change, or you will stay there to fix it?
So since you didn't understand, you who interviewing me, since you didn't understand, it means that I have to repeat.
Go ahead.
In my entire life, I have never joined the ANC. So I joined the ANC in 2013. In fact, I was supposed to be a funny founder of the ANC. But then my job, and I still had some little kids to bring up, I could not raise my job into going into full-fledged politics. So we were just partisan that when there are occasions, we just pop in, we were not making the decisions. In 2016, when Mr. Cummings came and he was elected standard bearer, I am saying suspended my membership with the ANC and supported Boakai because I felt that Mr. Cummings had just come, are going to win the elections. And I say it was wrong on my part to say that somebody has just come with all of the potentials he has, to say he had just come. I didn't believe that he will win the election. And more people said this, that Mr. Cummings has, when you look at his deliberations, he's up to task, he can do the work, but he just coming. I said it was wrong for. I didn't say it was wrong for me supporting Boakai. I didn't say so. I said it was wrong for not supporting Mr. Cummings and then putting it squarely on because he was JJC. That's what I said.
That's the contradiction I find difficult. But anyway, that's okay. Politicians are always clever to make their case. Which
So
is
no,
also...
Avanzo. So what makes it contradicting? What makes it contradicting, Avanzo?
I say it's a little bit in that you were one of those who said, and I'm not a favor of that person. War to people who always make the argument this person just coming. Well, I think we must do our diligence, and electing people must be based on competence. And I agree with you as a politician now, to be one of the first politicians to admit the fact that, okay, you went wrong, or at least you know it now. Now you know it. So, which is good. So, okay, let's move on here. Are you willing to have a debate here?
I went to support. Yeah, so I went to support Boakai. I went to support Boakai, but then I saw the road. I came back to my party. I have never joined any political party. So at my age, now I'm going to join another political party.
Okay. So the guy job you're looking for, I'm seeing his job because he's the Cuban. I mean, he's entitled to any Liberian like you, including myself. Anybody can go and contest that. Are you willing to have a debate here if we were to? We also reach out to Sir Joseph and other folks that are seeking for this job. Everybody should be able to be accountable. Are you willing to have a debate here if it were organized car and LPR to have a debate with any of the challengers? Are you willing to do that?
I am. Most important, most especially the incumbent. I am willing to debate with him. And I am ready. Even if you call him right now, I'm ready.
Okay. We also reach out and hopefully we'll be able to hear to you. Now, let me ask
a job. The man sitting down there, you don't even know how to read 1,000 project.
Is he dancing Bukato? So
now it's breaking, yeah, I think.
Are you hearing me? You hearing me now? So let me ask you: are you
now? Yes.
Wait, are you representing the ANC CPP or the ANC? Who is contesting? Because there was a letter memo with one of the executives of ANC who also sent a memorandum calling for the support of Wilmon Pay, who is coming in. That is quite interesting. But your guy, Comey, has endorsed you. So let me ask this question. Are you a candidate for ANC or for the CPP?
So, you know, I am an institutional person. So I will not want to just jump the gun. But what I can tell you is that because we will never be God, so we will create ourselves at 95%, we will be the CPP candidates. And the reason is, up to today's date, we in the ANC have not seen a second person who is running for the Senate. And also in the Liberty Party, I have not seen somebody who is running for the Senate. So I say I am not God. It is only God who knows. But I am very sure at 95% that I will be the CPP candidate. And because I'm an institutional person, I am waiting until my name is announced as the CPP aspirant.
Okay, so right now, you are on your way to be the nominee for the CPP, correct?
Correct. And
Oh,
I'm 90% gone.
90%. Okay, we we wish you the success,
I said
whatever.
95. Why are you reducing it, Alfonso?
No, I say I wish you this. Who am I to reduce it? I say we wish you the success in your political sojourn.
No,
So
you said
quickly
90.
here. Oh, you
You
said
said
95?
90%.
Okay, let me do it. Let me say 96. Is that okay? 96, is that okay? So yeah.
I could
All
even
right.
say 99%.
Oh Lord, my goodness. Apology. 99%. All right. That's good. We are almost out of time here. Hopefully, in subsequent programs, we will work with management to see here because a lot uh, needs to be done. What is the status of your consultation right now in MONSTERRADO? How you feel about yourself, about your campaign ahead of 2023?
I I feel excited. I think we are doing the work. I have told my team that let's do this door to door. Let's reach out to the people. Not too much publicity. Let's just go. But my team now is saying that no, we have done a lot of work. So everywhere now we go, we have to let the media know that we are somewhere. And when we go to meetings, we have to publish the photos to say that we are gaining momentum. And let me tell you, if you look at my face, you will see that I am actually tired. Um, this morning, before 10 a.m., I had 3 different meetings just in my community, walking from one community leader to another community leader, you know, to say hello. And yeah, and the message, the body language we are getting is that people are tired. People want change, but not just change. People want people who will do who will do the job. And before I could reach here today, I have done at least 6 engagement. And from here, I'm going to another engagement all the way in the Ghana's Belt. From here, I'm not even going home. I'm going all the way to the Ghana's Belt for another engagement. So this is how. And sometimes I feel so happy, delighted that people are struggling to find my number to call me to say, come to my community. Come, let me show you to my people, show you to my community leadership. So this is something
So
that
why people are
we want to
struggling?
thank God for.
So vague. Why people are struggling?
The
By this time, you
reason,
have a
but
structure in place that they can reach you. Why is that how they're going to struggle when you are elected?
so don't bring politics in the discussion here.
We are
So,
politicians. We are talking politics.
so,
Using your own voice.
so, so Alfonso, so when I say people are struggling, like right now, you and I, we are talking on this radio station. There are a lot of people who have listened to me, and they want to reach out to me. They do not have my number. They do not have the TIN number. So what they do is they see the name appear on the screen there. They go to social media. They click on the name pops up, and then they come to my inbox, Madam, please, we want your number, we want you come here. And I'm just saying, this is how we are building the momentum. So when every appearance on the radio, you will see new people will hear our voice and they want us to go to their community. The last time I refused to go to one community because the other people said we went to the community house X and they wanted us to go to house Z. Said no, let's organize this thing. We can't come right here. You only get 3 houses between you and you were part of this program, but the fact that they want me to go sit down in their house too and discuss. So, but this
Okay,
is
quickly here,
these are
we are
some of the things we are going through. When I say
quickly
struggle,
time is
it's
we are out
not
of
that
time here. We hope to.
yes, people crying and blah blah blah.
Okay, all right.
But it
I'll
is
just.
much easier today. Also, it is much easier today because we have structures all over the 7 districts now. So sometimes when people get to me, I just refer them to the coordinator in the look, you got somebody in the district to work with, and
right.
things are moving now. So the pressure has actually gone down. And yeah. So these are the things that So we're doing a lot of good work.
Okay. All right, Madam
But you know the other
Victoria.
people they get money and we get money. So somehow
Oh Lord. If you don't have money, why would you want to go into election? Election is all about money. People spend billions of dollars to contest election. Well, Madam Victoria TORLO, we want to thank you so much.
Sure.
So,
No, it doesn't.
this conversation will continue. Trust me, it is not yet settled. I'm waiting
Okay.
when it is finalized. It is not as settled. Okay. We have to go much deeper and deeper. All of you, me, electors who must all be held accountable. I don't want anybody coming knowing what I know now. What is your last word before we let you go? Your final message.
So I want to say thank you for inviting me, and I'm happy that we were able to complete this interview today because the last time we started, the internet could not permit us. So today we are able. But I just want to tell the people of MONSTERRADO that we are into this race and we are coming with sincerity, integrity, even though people don't want to hear us because other people have failed us. But we have to say it because this is what we are. We cannot stop saying it because other people went wrong. And our presence in the legislature will show it's like a path that we are going to lay for other people who will come after us, especially other qualified women who will come out. This woman told us XYZ, and when she went there, she did exactly what she told us. Even if it is not exactly, but let people say, yes, she did. Then the other people that were there. So when other people come in our path, people will look to them, people will listen to them, and other things. When we live him, people will say, yes, this woman mean business. So anybody she tell us to vote for, we will vote for her. So we're not going to go there to look at our repetition going down the drain. We're going to stand for our character, and actually, yes, we are carrying integrity to the legislature.
All right, Victoria TORLO, we wish you
Thank you.
successful race, and I hope to have you here at some point in time. Thank you so much.
They have a limited audience, limited to people who have data and have access to the internet, right? Now we're on radio, so we've expanded the pool of listeners, and because we in LPR are in the business of educating our people, what is political education or academic education or health education. Now we have access to a vast majority of the Liberian population that we can now interact with. And as far as the ambassador goes, I'm excited to hear what he has to say. I hope, and I know the brother he's very smart. So I hope he brings some substance today, like he always does, and not just give us bare bones. But I know Louis Brown. I know he's very articulate. He's a very smart man. So I'll be listening to hear what he has to say and what he has to proffer and how he all of those negative things that have been put out there about his selection. I'm hoping to hear from him and how he hopes to move Team Cummins forward and how they hope to move Liberia forward.
To govern. One of the things I thought was necessary with that size of mandate is to allow the president all of the space he will need with as minimal distraction as possible. So there can be no excuses for his failures. And yet there are excuses.
Does
He's
he feel?
blaming the opposition for not doing this. He takes no responsibility. He's blaming the past. Oh, it happened before, so it should happen now.
Well, I'm Alfonso Zienso, keeping you honest. That's LPR senior analyst, contributor of the Liberian Public Radio, Sisi Goyo. He's here with me. We're going to dissect it. But he supports the candidacy of Councillor Tiawan Gonglot. The Liberian war today, holding politicians, state actors accountable. That was then Louis Gawla Brown, who supported the candidacy of Alexander Benedict Cummings. Now, Sisi is joining me in this morning hour from Twin City, Minneapolis. Let me just bring him in here quickly. There was a fundraiser here as well, but I believe he got a little bit piece of Victoria KOIQUAH here. Let me bring in Sisi here. Sisi, good morning. Good to have you here.
Hey, good morning. I am trying to recover from last night. I think I got a flu again last night from that event. But good morning. It's nice to be on. And I did follow the interview. Very impressive.
Okay, very impressive. I don't know the interpretations of that very impressive. I know you're a very critical guy here, but to use the word, deploy the word very impressive, let's see whether there's a hook on here. You listen to Victoria KOIQUAH. Is she prepared to take on Senator Sir Joseph of the CDC?
I think she brings some substance. I really do. Hats off to her. I think she brings some substance, but I think her organization, as far as the political organization for her, they need to beef it up. But I think she could be a very serious contender if Liberians are voting on the issues and not just on the personality, and not voting for the 6 corporates for today and suffering for 6 years later. So I think if we really lay out where people are discussing the substance and the issues, I think she's very formidable. She's gonna give anybody in the race, not just Sir Joseph, a natural workout.
Are you speaking as an opposition, or are you taking the holistic approach of the political process in the country?
No, I'm speaking from a holistic perspective. Look, I think one thing we got to get away from in the whatever you want to call it opposition bloc is this blanket endorsement, where if I endorse the ANC, for example, then every candidate the ANC brings, I have to endorse them, even if I know they are mediocre and they're not going to serve the country right. I think we got to get away from that. And so that is why, for example, me, I don't belong to any one political party. I do support Councillor Tiawan Gonglot for the presidency, but I also have a plan B and a plan C. And when it comes to the senatorial and representative elections, I will endorse a sedition if I know that sedition is capable. And I've seen Sir Joseph do the work. I know that there are a lot of drawbacks when it comes to all of the things he's done. People say, well, he got these things free, like the buses during the Ebola and all those things, the work he did. Yes, we can critique, but we cannot just say because he belongs to the CDC, therefore it equates to him not being qualified. So I'm not speaking as an opposition. I'm speaking as somebody who loves Liberia. And I think the first way to build and defend our democracy has to be by changing the first branch of government, by putting in there people who comes with integrity, but also understand the constitutional duties that they were elected to carry out.
So I hate to put people on the radar, but it's the traditions of this network. We, anger, commentators, pundits, we also must be here accountable. Let's thread the needle here this morning here. It's just little afternoon, still morning hour on your end in Minnesota. So far, we heard political commentator Henry Costard. We also, by the way, we reached out to him as well to have a conversation. We reached out to Senator Sir Joseph. He has considered we're going to have that conversations. Let's put those 3 in this basket as the 3 major front runner. And Sisi Goyo is given the opportunity to be the principal decider.
Wow. You let trouble. So the first thing, I'm not even a registered voter in Liberia. But
I'm going to make you for discussion purposes. I'm going to give you that voting power this
I know you're not letting me. I know you're not letting me run away from there. So don't worry. I know you. But on a serious note, I think they all bring pluses and they all have some minuses. Sir Joseph brings the pluses of having had a name recognition. He's been around for a while, and in politics, it's really difficult to unseat the incumbent. We got to take that very seriously. And beyond that, Sir Joseph is not your regular sedition, and I don't mean this in any disrespectful way to other seditions, but Sir Joseph is not like the Akaris Gray, the buffoonery, the flamboyance, the just talking us out of your mouth thing. Sir Joseph is very measured in when he speaks and how he speaks and how he does his work. I think he does more than he speaks. So I think that brings a lot. And again, like I said, people will look at, okay, the buses he brought, he didn't have a maintenance plan for them. Those buses, most of them are parked. He's using government money, whatever, the truth and force of that is. But you cannot take away from him that when the country was in need, I still remember Ebola time, when other senators and everybody else had the same access he had to bring ambulances. My sister died from Ebola in Liberia that year. And I, like most people, still struggle with that grief because her body was burned. She was not buried. So there's nowhere I can go to grieve on Decoration Day to go to my sister. And so Sir Joseph was one person who provided a light in that darkness. Even if it was just one ambulance, he provided that light. So we gotta know that is there. Now, there are other things he's done since then that would take away from that. Absolutely. And the people have the right to discuss those. Henry Costa, love him, hate him, or whatever, has a following. He has a following. He lives, he has his echo chamber, he has a group of people who follow him, and they will follow him to wherever he leads them. So he does have that, and he's had a voice in Liberian politics, good, bad, or indifferent, for a very long time. So he's carved out a group of people who listen to him, who will follow him. Now, having said that, that same thing that gave him pluses also bring minuses. He's been known to use his microphone to denigrate a lot of people, including women. He did that to Ellen Johnson Saliba. He's done that to quite a few females. And I think that's going to play against him. And then voter appetite. They just voted for DeLong to lead the CPP branch, whatever that was when he went in there, and the Save the State protests and stuff. So now with Pedro Costa coming in and trying to ride on those same set of electorates, it's not going to be the same, because when DeLong was running,
has the story changed? The narrative changed now?
The narrative has changed, because when DeLong was running, he had a unified opposition to a larger extent. But now you see Madame Victoria KOIQUAH is running out of the ANC. And you can't take the ANC lightly in Monsterrado County. You can talk about the 7% all you want, but ANC was formidable in Monsterrado County. And I think with the constant going around and interaction of their political leader, ABC, I think that gives a lot of clout to the ANC and makes it very difficult for any one party to win. If the opposition is not coalesced behind one candidate in Monsterrado, it makes it very difficult for them to unseat the incumbent. And so this is also going to be a test now to Madame KOIQUAH. This is going to be a test of how long the coattail of Alexander Benedict Cummings is. In American politics and everywhere else, when you talk about a coattail, you're talking about, okay, you're the presidential candidate. Can people ride on your coattail? Can you get senators elected?
She's always by the right hand side, right, as vice chair for international. Does that help?
Right.
You participate in politics here. Will that help her in the political process?
But here's the thing. This is the reason I'm saying this is going to be a referendum, so somewhat a mini referendum on the strategy of the ANC. How well have they done? Because if ABC can get Madame KOIQUAH elected, then that speaks to the fact that they've done immense groundwork and it pays off. But if he cannot get people on his coattail elected, then that speaks to the fact that he is still widely not yet accepted, or that the political strategy that they endorse as a party or as a collaboration has not manifested, and people are not yet believing in that. So this is going to be a true test of Cummings' power in Monsterrado County, but a greater test of the holding together of the ANC and the new CPP. So I think there's a lot riding on this, but I do hope, I'm happy, because now Monsterrado County has a chance to look amongst a lot of candidates, and I think platforms like ours need to do a better work, a lot more greater work of bringing these people to book, asking them their questions, so people understand what they run for, what they're running on, and so when they go to the polls, they are making an educated vote versus a vote for 6 cup of rice.
6 cup of rice. If Victoria, for now we don't know, but in the past there was a memorandum, or there was some sort of like one of the chairs for mobilizations. They are trying to bring in other folks within the ANC are trying to bring in Wilman Pay from the Unity Party. He's clever, very clever politician, trying to make his way to infiltrate the system. If he comes in and manage to rally the support of some ANC folks to join in the race to contest in MONSTERRADO, as we are hearing, contemplating of doing, what that brings, who going to be potentially go on a war, because you're going to have Victoria there, you're going to have Henry Costa, most likely. Otto are saying is there to neutralize. We don't know yet. We're waiting to see. And Sir Jose is there. He's seeking re-election. Who is heading in the wrong canon here?
Well, I think this is if Wilman Pay crosses over. By the way, Wilman Pay is a very smart dude. However, though, this is the same guy that's been chairman for a plethora of political parties lately. He's known for getting fired from those positions. Most recently, his candidate that is currently serving time in the U.S. prison fired him. So if you get fired by a criminal, you know that I don't know what that says, but with Wilman Pay, if you cross us over to the ANC, I think that puts Comey in the same situation it placed him the last time when it came to the district in MONSTERRADO County where what's his name? Fubi Henrys was running, and that whole quagmire about who do we bring in, who do we not bring in, and even with the issue in Nimba County, remember that issue in Nimba County between Edith Gonglowe and Tai Wongbe. And the ANC was not happy that Cummins asked Tai Wongbe not to run because he was trying to play the leadership role of the ANC, of the CPP. And so now when he has that same thing happening within the ANC, he's going to have to ask somebody not to run. If Wilman Pay comes on and say he's running to be senator in MONSTERRADO County, and you have Madame KOIQUAH say she's running to be senator in MONSTERRADO County, and she is his vice chair, something got to give. And I hate to be Cummins in that situation because
Comey is already in the situation where that put Comey in a testing leadership position. But let me just read here, not because we want to have a conversation here, but it's concrete. This is what is coming out, what we obtained here from the mobilization chair, Councillor Lawrence Swart. By the way, he issued a managed to leak out, telling voters. This is what he's telling for the personally, I am in favor of a strong candidate to help galvanize votes for the bigger. So I support Wilman Pay intervention. That's a politician. You are a politician. He is within the ANC, and he is saying he supports Wilman Pay intervention as compared to someone who is a vice chair within the party. Now, Alexander Cummins is like a piece of cloth between the scissors. You have his vice chair who is on by his wayside 24/7 going around MONSTERRADO and other places. And you have here another person who is a mobilizing guy who should be able to galvanize and pour resources and members and say, okay, I'm supporting this. And this is what they are taking on. And I want you to go into this here. Swart argument is they will get Wilman Pay is from the Nimbat region. So his political calculation now that Alexander Cummins will attract voters from Nimba County if Wilman Pay is brought in. But what is unclear too, Wilman Pay is not going as a candidate for ANC. So how can that factor in real-time politics? He's not a member of the ANC, even though he's from the Nimba Belt, which is a vote-rich area. Everybody wants to get a piece of the pie there. So how does that favor Alexander Cummins? This is a mobilization guy.
So I think it comes down to what's more important, the presidency or a Senate seat. And in serious political organizations, this is where the political leader will sit on the sidelines and allow the party machinery to work this out, and that will be the chair of the party and everybody else to see how they work this out, so that you keep it as far away from touching your political leader as possible. This reminds me, though, Mr. So, of the 1997 elections. In Cinco, Lawrence George, who is now the IT with Legis, was running to be representative on the NPP ticket. And Charles Taylor at the time needed the vote of the marketeers, the market women. And so what he did was to bring Madame Kebe Freeman, at the time the president of the Liberian Marketing Association, was residing in Painesville. But Charles Taylor found a way to bring her to Cinco and ask Lawrence George and negotiated with Lawrence George so that they could send him to a cabinet position, I think being director or something, and to give a seat away to Madame Kebe Freeman. And that's how Kebe Freeman became representative. And then Charles Taylor got the market, the votes, the endorsement of the LMA. I think this will be a similar issue. Now, we know that Women Pay is going to be, if he's going to run in MONSTERRADO. So if Alexander Cummings or the ANC support Women Pay over Madame KOIQUAH, then what they are looking at in the long run is how can we get more votes for the presidency? Let's do this, because we already got a stronghold in MONSTERRADO, but we need a son of Nimba to carry us around and open doors for us in Nimba County. So can we now trade? It's a battle. Can we trade MONSTERRADO senatorial experiency for the presidency? And I think one of the things that go into that calculation is going to be, how viable do they think? Because political parties, serious political parties, will have data. They will have results from polls that they have conducted to determine the winnability and the viability of their candidates. And so when they determine that their candidate is not very viable or is not winnable, then it will be an easy trade to do and tell Madame KOIQUAH, yo, can you withdraw? Let's run with Women Pay, because if Women Pay loses, it doesn't affect us as much. He's still supposed to us in Nimba County, versus us saying, no, we will take you, and we still lose the seat in MONSTERRADO and then not have a foothold in Nimba County. So that will be a calculation I think any serious political party would do based on the data that they have in-house. And I'm assuming they do have those data in-house that will show the likelihood of her winning and her likability, because in politics, likability is also an issue.
So if that and only that happens, for discussion purposes, if Women Pay actually reach that point, most likely she will be used as a sacrificial lamb, correct?
Yeah. Oh yeah. But in politics, you come in if you are downstream, if you are at the bottom of the coattail, you understand that you have to be willing to sacrifice yourself.
But there might be something bigger there. Putting it into the Taylor scenario, there will be something bigger. And if Cummings expect maybe a ministerial or some sort of
absolutely. I mean, most serious politicians, like, and I'm hoping Madame Victoria KOIQUAH is going to go to that negotiation and so yeah, just lay down and roll over for nothing. Absolutely not. There will be some promises made. And there has to be some promises made. I mean, when Joe Biden was caught up here in the primaries, when people just drop out, Joe Biden went to him for his endorsement. He wanted that endorsement. In fact, they were asking people just to drop out. And so there was some negotiation. Now he's cabinet minister, right? He's a secretary, right? So these calculations.
Why these things don't work out in the Liberian politics? And this is what PYJ is good at doing, and people smashing, people bashing. Hey, people always need protections in politics. Let's put aside his involvement in the war, this and that, but people always want political accommodations. Why, when it's happening in Liberia, it seems to be like the unusual, and people kind of throw that sort of kitchen sink on these people. Oh, he doing this. Oh, he doing that.
Well, I think it's because we have not educated our people on what politics is. In Liberia, the vast majority of our people think politics is the loudest talking person in the room and the person with the most battle crowd. I will say, and then you're done. But we have not really taken the time. And we have a lot of political scientists in Liberia, graduated from the University of Liberia. But have they taken the time to actually, when they go to these Hatai centers and the intellectual centers, to look at the inner working and talk to the people about the inner working of politics? Because this is what it is. But to some extent, though, Mr. So, that has been happening in Liberia. It's just like, people don't hold on to their agreements, right? You got this guy, you got the Deputy Minister of Education, Tuopo. Didn't he run a vice presidential candidate to Benin Ure? Right. So you do have those, but the problem is our political establishments are not willing, and most times to 100% honor those obligations. So then it makes it very difficult for people to want to be in political legal framework with you. But that is the nature of the beast. Kamala Harris ran against Joe Biden for the nomination of the party, and people call on her to drop out, and against Bernie Sanders. When she dropped out, she endorsed Joe Biden, and she's now vice president. The same thing happened between the rivals, between Barack and President Obama and Hillary Clinton. So these things happen, and we see them. It's just like the difference in our Liberian body politics is, are people willing to live up to the spirit of their agreement that they craft with these people to drop out and endorse them?
Okay, this Tuesday will be quite interesting. We are convicted, the executive branch of government, without us knowing in depth, to be within the proximity of the president of the Republic of Liberia, or to be what we call handlers, who manages the rendezvous of the president. So we managed to reach out to a former presidential press secretary, and he has consented, he has agreed to appear here, Geraldine Pia, who was a former presidential secretary to Helen Johnson Sirleaf, will be appearing on the Liberia Public Radio on Tuesday, that is the 29th here. And part of that, the president is still in Qatar, or whatever he is now, I don't know. But interestingly, I was checking on the Paris Forum. The forum is divided into 3 categories: leaders, organizations, and different people to speak. I saw Gambia president picture. I did not see my president. I did not see the president of the republic. All of those speakers and those that were invited, I was surprised. What is going on here? I did not see the president's picture here. That's a different thing by itself. Maybe that's human error. I'm not sure why would they do that to the Republic of Liberia. It's concerning. And the president's letter of extension. No, if you go on the Paris Forum or Freedom, Conference Forum, they have it there in detail, the start of the program, which of course the executive mansion kicked the can down the road, where the president was calling for the extension, to say because the forum was extended. That's not true. It's a lie. That forum was not extended from the 11th to the time set. It ended. But what was interesting, I was going through the profile of speakers, war leaders, philanthropists, academians, and other people. I saw Gambia president picture profile. Why did the president of the Republic of Liberia was left out?
Well, I wanted to ask you. You said, why they're doing this to Liberia? It's why is Liberia doing this to herself?
Oh my
Look, I seen a press release that is attributed to the press secretary of the president, Mr. Klebe, and it's strange. So maybe our president is not going to speak at that forum because they just have regular presidents at that forum. He's going to be meeting with the Prince of Monaco, whatever that means, whatever authority the Prince of Monaco has. I guess he's still stuck on his Monaco days playing soccer. The problem is endemic. We have to be able, as a government, as a people, to say the 500 people that the president traveled with, or the 10,000 people that he's employed, people have to be held to account to go to places and do their jobs. We talked about this when with the UN General Assembly, where he brought a huge entourage, and you have people going to UNESCO and speaking at UNESCO forum for other countries. You have people going to UNICEF and speaking and talking about the need for help. And all of our entire government entourage, they Uber together. Like they all got to be in one car together. So they go to one place together. They all show up to the UN General Assembly, even though Samuel Tuah does not have a speaking engagement there, even though Jefferson Kojo does not have a speaking engagement there. Instead of them spreading themselves out, and going to these various rooms and these various international organizations and speaking to their ability about their own organs in government that they lead and what help they would need. They don't do that. They all coalesce together. So right now, for example, in Qatar, you have Eugene Nangbe taking picture of his VIP ticket and posting it, right? Because he's known for flamboyance. He got to put it in the Liberian people's face. So even though there are estimates around here that VIP tickets cost about $15,000, right? So forget about the optics of how foolish that was, but they're over there watching soccer. How many of them have shown you pictures of them having interaction with their counterparts? Talking about, yo, man, can you help us? We need help. How did you guys do this? I've seen your road this way. I've seen how the roads are clean. How does the sanitation department work in your city? How can we see a blueprint so we can take that home? None of them are doing that. They are all sitting next to the president and I'm showing fealty to the president because the emperor has no clothes, but nobody can tell him. So we all got to sit there and watch the soccer game together. Even when Timothy Weah, by the way, a very good soccer player and a pride to Liberia, even if he's not playing, right? They all have to be there. So what is the essence of carrying the Sekou Kalasco just to take picture around with other football players and say, oh, Samuel Eto'o gave me a ticket to go to the Cameroonian game? Yeah, so why else are you there? Right? So for me, the issue is not just with the president, even though the buck stops at the president, but you got a lot of people on this trip that the president is not in Paris meeting. Maybe the president doesn't have to highlight that forum. Maybe Eugene Nangbe highlights that forum. Maybe somebody else speaks on behalf of the republic. The president doesn't always have to be the person that speaks at all of these forums. That is the reason he has an education minister to go to UNESCO and speak on education, and go to UNICEF and talk about the need to have our kids, women and girls and boys in school. Right? So he has to be able to do that. At the climate change, you have to have the EPA there to talk about what is climate change causing, the devastation that is causing to say West Point and other places, the rising sea level and ocean level, the drought, the longer dry season we're having, and the torrential rain we're having in dry season. Right? So you talk about those, but we need an EPA director to do that. It doesn't have to always be the president. But my problem is the president is not firing people, and people don't understand their role. So they all go with the president and sit in one room, and they don't go out to talk to their counterparts. And so we lose money. So we leave from Qatar, for example, with a $2.5 million grant, and everybody's celebrating. 2.5 million from Qatar, and you think about other nations that are getting 10 million, 50 million, 150 millions and stuff. We're celebrating for the crumbs that fall from the table, because we reduced ourselves to people that eat off the floor, because our people don't go out there and articulate what the needs of the republic are, and how can we partner, how rich our country is, and what do we bring to the table.
What we will bring to the table, eating from the crumbs. You support an individual and Tiawan Gonglo. Does that give us the reason, the Joseph Boyka, the Ellis Comey, the Tiawan Gonglo, your guy, to begin to ask them these tough questions and not waiting until they are elected? If it becomes president, they might sound a little bit crazy and a little bit not less important to the people. But some of these things were not asked. We did not put them on the radar, and they got to this point here. Should we start having the conversation at this time? If you become president, how are we going to see it differently? We know press briefing. We don't know who all travels with the president. Why it is true, it is within the purview, the executive of the president, to say I'm carrying X, Y, Z. But what I do know, in the past, when the president of the Republic of Liberia is traveling, you will see the name there. And sometimes you're going to see it a vivid itinerary. And that's one of the reasons I'm trying to bring in Pia here, to get a sense of his being press secretary on Helen Johnson Sirleaf, whether they were forthcoming with information. What do we need to know? What is the level of authority the press secretary has? Because if the president is not even talking, the press secretary is there. He should be having briefings and getting back to the Liberian people. Yes, he's not here just only for the football game, but sometimes you just see one or two tweets, and like you said, Eugene Nangbe, if he doesn't send some sort of heavy dish plate, eating, then he either put it. It's disgusting.
Absolutely. But the problem here is, though, the press secretary office is put in. Usually, you have to be there to put a spin on the worst thing, right? Trying to get people to drink kojorobo while lying to them and say it might taste nicer, right? You know, you put a little sugar around the chloroquine and say, hey, you know, and you're feeding your children so that they eat. So that I understand, and I don't envy people who do their job. The problem is that if the Ministry of Information, we have a whole ministry for this thing. It's not even forthcoming with anything. And I agree with you. The fellows who travel with the president in the capacity as press secretary don't even update us. A simple thing as, yo, Team We Are School would have been a good tweet to say now we are grateful as a nation, you know, for a son of a Liberian to be playing at this stage. Wonderful. It's simple things like that. They don't even do that, but they would rather just, you know, Kalasco post a go, we score. Who are the we that score? Right. And so if I saw this press statement being attributed to the press secretary today, he's trying to explain now, after the narrative of taking hold, that the president did not just travel for to see a son play, that it was a coincidence, and that the president is a FIFA Hall of Famer, and he's being invited. He went to South Africa to watch the World Cup. He also went to Brazil to watch the World Cup. So he's not only there because he's president. He's been invited before. He's going to other World Cups. Okay, fine, granted. Shouldn't that have been the narrative from the beginning? Should you have told us that from the beginning when the first thing came out that the president was going? Now, number two, my pushback would be, yeah, the president as an individual citizen or even as a senator could go to Qatar and spend 8 months there. I don't care. But when you are the president of the republic, that changes the dynamic. You can no longer say, oh, you know, we're invited because, you know, I'm a former World Cup bid member and I'm also a FIFA Hall of Famer and I've been to other world. Yeah, Liberia is not in the World Cup. But our president took the entire USA team to breakfast on Liberian dollars. The US president was not over there, right? It was the Secretary of State that went there, right? He didn't even take the team out to breakfast, right? So you explain to me the cognitive dissonance in that the president of one of the poorest nations on earth is using the taxpayers' money to take the team of the arguably richest nation on earth.
Are you doing politics,
it's like me trying to go take Elon Musk and say, man, let's go to breakfast, the breakfast on me. That's cognitive dissonance.
Okay. Before we go, let me get a reaction. This guy is the certain vice president of Malawi arrested over corruption. Sitting vice president, right? It's interesting.
So for me, this is Africa. So we have to treat these things with a grain of salt. If he's been truly arrested because the evidence is there that he's corrupt, then hats off to Malawi. I congratulate you, and I think that is an effort that other countries in Africa should emulate. However, if this is because of a power struggle between the president and the vice president, and now they're bringing out Trump charges to kind of remove the vice president from trying to contest and take the seat of the president, which we know happens a lot in Africa, then this would be a shame. Remember, within the Liberian political sphere, there was a time where the vice president, who is now Densin Bugad, was sidelined, was pushed to the side. And if there were any chance of her being accused of anything, they would have. So let's be very careful how we celebrate this. But again, if there are documents and there are actual credible proofs that he is corrupt, then absolutely. Africa should be celebrating, and Malawi should be celebrated for that. I just want to be careful because, as a student of political history in Africa, usually we use these Trump charges to get rid of people that we see that are heir to the presidency, and the president is not willing to leave yet.
Okay, well, folks, that's how we're going to draw the curtain here. But what do you anticipate hearing, Jeremy? Pierre, who is the former presidential secretary, he's with the class Reloaded. That supports the candidacy of Joseph Boyka. He was there before. Are we going to hear something new?
I keep laughing because it's like Jen Psaki then sitting on networks now talking about how other people, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, then when they left they talk about how other people were despicable because they lied so much. So I'm on the way to hear from Jeremy Pia. I guess this is going to be about just general. I don't think it's going to be talking about his own action or inaction when he was with the presidency, but I will be listening. These are people who are gifted with words, and they are gifted with trying to draw curtains in front of your eyes. These are real life magicians with words. So I'll be watching to see what the smokes and mirrors are going to be. But on a serious note, before we leave, one thing I wanted to put out there. Madam KOIQUAH, in her ending statement with you, talked about how people used to struggle to get her phone number, and sending people off now to people who are leaders in their own little card, and however that has been parsed out. We talked about this the last time when they released the website of Alexander B. Cummings, and I did say that time that if you are releasing a website of a candidate, are you going to be able to have other senatorial and representative experience on their website? And this is the point you made, because if the ANC had a website as a party, or if the CPP, since the ANC is with the CPP and they're pushing out Alexander B. Cummings' website, why don't they have these people that are down ballot candidates that are on the riding the coattail of ABC on there? Because then you could just direct people to the website and say, if you need Madame KOIQUAH's phone number, here is the website. That is the reason I talked about when I said,
when I try to push back and say using your own way, are you saying people struggle?
Yeah.
He said, why are you trying to that was a big fumble. Why would you want to say that?
Well, but
you should have a structure. I mean, you should have a structure that you are reachable, you can be reached.
The candidate should never, the electorate should never struggle to find a candidate. It should be the other way around. The candidate should be the one struggling to get to the electorate, right? Your phone number should be everywhere. You should have a campaign Facebook page where people can follow you and have access to your number, and they can inbox you directly. It shouldn't be a struggle for the candidate, for the voters to come to you. It should be the struggle for you getting to the voters. You should be here telling us, with the rainy season, with people struggling for food, it's hard to meet at their homes. That would be stuff to talk about. But for you to come and say your electorates are seeking you out because it's difficult, that is a problem. And so they need to work on that. That's why I said she is a very smart candidate, but I think the organization is lacking, and they need to work on that.
Well, Cecil Goyos, political contributor, analyst, politician himself, Scarlett, we want to thank you so much for your expertise, and we hope to be back here tomorrow for more programming. Can we please do everything possible you can? We need to have your guy here before. Now he's a candidate. We need to have him here. No one is up the radar.
I thought you set it up again the last time.
You said it. The other time we said it, when I called, then their phone speaking Chinese to me. Maybe the one. Maybe.
Look, man. One thing we can say, I will make the call. But one thing we can say about our guy is he's constant. He's consistent. He's not like LEC. He's not going and coming. So he's consistent. We will try to make sure he shows up, because LEC can learn something from Tewan Gonglo. He's not going and coming.
Okay. All right, sister. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Appreciate you. Have a good day.
All right. Well, folks, let's end this conversation. It's 12:45 Eastern Standard Time. I am Alfonso Z and Salt of the Liberian Public Radio and LPR TV. We want to thank all of our viewers, listeners, cross-country, whatever you are. And we will continue to do this. We reach out to Senator Sir Joseph, Mr. Henry Costa, and we are getting green light. Senator Sir Joseph has agreed to appear. We're going to set the date and let you know. We have not heard from Mr. Costa saying in back, so we'll try to do that. Make it proportional, fair, balance to give everybody the opportunity. Any other candidate that is in the race that we know as well, we'll try to reach that. And not just on the MONSTERRADO. We'll try to go cross country and hold all of these people accountable of their political decisions. I want to thank you so much for your time this morning, this afternoon, evening, depending on your location, for sharing with us this beautiful day. This is the Liberian World Today, and I'm Alfonso Z. And so have a pleasant day. right. Let it go. How many of us will into let it go? One means the program continues tomorrow. We're up here analyst live on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. One of the handlers, former President Helen Johnson, former presidential press secretary Geraldine Pia will be joining me right here on the Diaspora Information News. Well, let me stop this here. I'm getting a tweet here on our Facebook page here. Our guy, Liberia management team. We don't know the details of that, but we are hearing from our guys in Liberia that the Minister of Finance and Planning Development, Samuel Tue, and team involved in a motor accident along the Lofa Bomb Highway. That's what we know for now. And this is what we are hearing from Liberia, from our guys. That's the tweet coming in line while we are on air. We will continue to monitor this development. We hope those government officials are doing well. We do not know the details of that, what that is, any fatality and the status of those that were involved in the motor accident. But what we do know that we are hearing from our team in Liberia, Liberia's Finance Minister Samuel Tue and team involved in car accident along Lofa Bong Highway. That's what we can say for now. We will keep you posted as the news becomes available too, but we hope and pray that those involved in that motor accident, they are doing okay. But that's the Minister of Finance, Planning and Development, Samuel Tue. To remember, Samuel Tue was in Lofa during the weekend where he served as a speaker at the graduation program. Apparently, I believe from this, maybe back en route to the capital, and this happens. But I will keep monitoring what is happening. But our prayers and thought goes out to those government officials. In as much we will disagree with them and policies, administrative work out, we should not pray for the evil to range on them as well. So while we are now hearing from our Liberia Public Radio Management team in Liberia, the Finance Minister and Development, Samuel Tue and entourage, or those travel with the ministers, they were involved in a motor accident, Lofa Bong Highway. That's what we know for now. Details will become available, but I'm quite sure they will be posted on our official Facebook and website. Until then, this summit, thank you so much, Mr. Boyd Wilson. Thank you. This is one of our prime-time followers. It's better late than never. Sometimes it goes to jump in before the program comes to an end. Until then, folks, have a pleasant Sunday. And I will see you when I see you. Bye-bye.
Welcome to Fiber Queen off of Woodland. Everyone that's looking for a nice African for wedding, whatever fiber you need, you can just come over here. You have all this nice stuff. If you need a Ashebi, you guys can come over here for baby shower, for wedding. You guys are welcome. She have really nice stuff. You can see all over there, all those men over here. You don't have to go to the theater and then they're going to be telling you all kind of stories. You can just come here. They're already made. And for ladies, you can just look for whatever fiber you're looking for and match it for the men. And, your husband already have a shirt made. You can get stuff for your kids. You can get stuff for the whole family. We have African slippers and Ashobi hand ties all over. We have different kinds of lists and everything. So you guys are welcome, okay? It's really nice. It's Fiber Queen. On 6695 off of Woodland. 6625 Woodland Avenue, okay? So you guys are welcome. You have nice stuff here for ladies, for men, for kids, and for everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please.
Fabric Queen of Philadelphia. Fabric Queen of Philadelphia is 100% African-owned business. At Fabric Queen, we are specialized in high-quality wax product, Swiss lace, jewelry, and beauty products that will make you shine like the queen of fabrics. We are located at 6625 on Woodlands Avenue, 10 Philadelphia. Telephone number 215-800-0228. Tell the management of Fabrice Queens in Philadelphia is easy and salt of the Liberia Public Radio gives you this message. Tell all KOIQUAH.
Welcome to Uncle Musa Grocery, 6523 Woodland Avenue in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
I'm a customer of Uncle Musa. I came here to get some things from grocery. Their things are so nice. They never get expired. They are the best quality. They have the best price ever anyone can get. They have so many things like cream, like meat, a lot of kind of meat. We have so many kind, and it's the best grocery store I've ever seen here in Wood. We are located at the 65th and Woodland. If you want, I really appreciate you guys to come over to come and patronize with us because they sell the best quality.
Uncle Musa's Groceries on Woodland Avenue, 6523 Woodland Avenue, Philadelphia, PA. Musa's store is composed of varieties of African food as well as Americans, but predominantly African food. You have dry fish, you have cassava, you have yams, you have plantains, bananas, and Musa even goes out of his way to pay people extra to cut the potato grains for customers to save them extra time. We have deeper, we have fufu.
What, by the way, while we were trying to get off air here, we just receiving fresh images as the result of that motor accident. There are some fresh images just been forwarded to us as we are about to go off air. This appears to be the car that were involved in the motor accident of the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of Finance Development, Republic of Liberia. Heading home, this is what we are saying. The authenticities of this picture, we hope to verify that, but this seems to be the car. We are getting information here, sources close to this accident are reporting to telling LPR New England Bureau we yet to verify the authenticities of those pictures, but there appears to be the picture as we're on air trying to leave forwarded by folks familiar and close to the accident following those images here of the Minister of Finance and entourage leaving from Lofa County. Whatever the situation is, our prayers and thoughts are out there to those government officials and other Liberians that are involved. It is unclear. We do not know yet whether there is any fatality into the accident. But what we do know and what we can say for now, there is an accident that occurred. Karen's Minister of Finance, Planning and Development, Honorable Samuel Tuwet, and other officials who was accompanying him. During the weekend, he was in Lofa, where he served as a speaker of the graduation exercises. And now, en route to Monrovia, we are receiving these pictures. We yet to verify the authenticities of this picture. Car appears to be the accident involved, and we do not know yet. As soon as it becomes available, we will let you know what is unfolding in the West African state of the Republic of Liberia. No further information as to whether there was a reported fatality or anyone being taken to hospital or whatever it is. we do not have all of those informations on hand. As it becomes available, we will let you know. But I want to thank you so much. It's important that we bring this to you so that you know exactly what is going on. Until then, have a pleasant event. Bye-bye.